Aboru, Aboye, Aboye Boshishe, Ogo, Ato, Asure, Iwore Wofun. Good day to my viewers. Good day to my listeners. You are welcome to today's teaching. Before I proceed, my name is Olariwaju Ifa Damilare. I'm a practicing Babalawo Onifa. First of all, I would like to encourage everybody and I would like to beg you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Ifa Truthfulness TV. The purpose of this channel, as you all know, is very simple. It's to bring liberation to human race. It's to bring people from darkness into light, to liberate the race of human. So please, I humbly request that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. So today, I am here to show you the practical way of making Ifa divination. The practical way of making Ifa divination. But before I start with the practical way of making Ifa divination, I want to tell you what is Ifa. When you hear the word Ifa, what comes into your mind by the word Ifa? I-F-A. Ifa. What comes into your mind when you hear this word? Ifa is the words of Olodumare. Now, who is Olodumare? Do not forget, we are Africans. I am a Nigerian. I am from African continent. I am a Nigerian and I am from a Yoruba race. So my ancestors, my forefathers, my father, my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers, my generations as a Yoruba man, they believe in Olodumare. And who is Olodumare? Olodumare is known to be the creator of everything, which in English you can call him to be God. The Arabian, they call him to be Allah. If you go to the Chinese continent, the Asian continent, they have a name they call Olodumare. If you go to Igbo land in Nigeria, they call him Shineke. If you go to Edo, they have a name they call him. If you go to Hausa land, they have a name they call him. So we know him to be Olodumare, being a Yoruba man. So now, Ifa is the words, the spoken words of Olodumare, which is the creator. When Olodumare was creating the heaven and the planet Earth, do not forget, we have different planets. We have the planet Earth, we have the Jupiter, we have the Pluto, we have the Uranus, we have the Venus, and so on and so forth. So when the creator, which is Olodumare, was creating all the things that is existing now, and the things that has existed, and the things that will continue to exist, all his spoken words is known to be Ifa in Yoruba culture and tradition. And the prophet that brought these words to the planet Earth is known to be Orunmila. So Orunmila is the number one prophet that ever exists. So before you start talking about every other earthly prophet, the prophet with private jets, the pastors, the bishop and all that, before their existence, before the prophets that were written in the Bible and so on and so forth, there were a prophet. And his name is Orunmila Barami Agbonilegun. He was the one that brought the words of Olodumare, which is Ifa, to the planet Earth. When he came to the planet Earth, he was busy teaching the people preaching the words of Olodumare. Do not steal, do not kill, do not destroy, love yourself, love your neighbor, respect your father, respect your mother, love your children, do not fornicate, and so on and so forth. These were the words of the Creator, which is Olodumare. Now, when you have to talk about a babalawo happens to be the follower, the divine follower of Orunmila, which happens to be the first prophet that ever exists. So Orunmila had returned back to the Creator, which is Olodumare. So he had assigned the responsibility to the babalawos. So it is now the responsibility of the babalawos to preach, to teach the words of the Creator to human race, telling them what is good and what is bad, what is going to be useful for the fulfillment of their destiny, letting them know their do's and their don'ts. So that is the responsibility of a babalawo. So therefore, if you go to anywhere and there is no Ifa divination that is being made for you, before any explanation, you do not go to a babalawo. You had either gone to a spiritualist or a seer. When we talk about a seer, somebody will look at you and tell you what you ate yesterday, where you went to yesterday, the type of food you ate 2 days ago. Those are seers. They are not a babalawo. They are not a follower of Orunmila. They are not a believer of the Creator, which is Olodumare. They had either bring one or two things together, coupled to bring out a juju, and it is that juju that will start giving them information about you. So you do not go to a babalawo. That aside, do not forget the purpose of this video. We are here to show you the practical ways of making Ifa divination. So now, when we talk about Ifa happens to be the words, the spoken words of Olodumare, which is the Creator. So before you exist, a word has been spoken. Before your existence, before the existence of your father, the life has been existing. So if you are now existing, you must abide by the rules and regulations of your ancestors. You must abide by the rules and regulations of the Creator, which is Olodumare. So when we are talking about the Creator, we are not talking about religion. The Creator has no religion. Olodumare has no religion. All over the universe, we have about thousands of religions all over the universe. So it is not Christianity that will take you to your Creator. It is not Islam that will take you to your Creator. It is not Hindu that will take you to your Creator. It is not Isheshe, the traditional believer, that will take you to your Creator. What will take you to your Creator is the content of your character. Your attitude is what is going to take you to your Creator. So you need to have this at the back of your mind. And I'll be very honest with you, those that you are seeing as your leader, what they are doing behind the scene, if you know it, you will know that you are on the wrong channel. So if you have the opportunity to see a true babalawo, you are fortunate, because they are not common. A true babalawo is not common. Do not forget the reason for this video: practical ways of making Ifa divination. Now, since you all know that Ifa is the spoken words of the Creator, which is Olodumare, and Orunmila happens to be the #1 prophet that ever exists. So while Orunmila was leaving the planet Earth back to the Creator, who's sending to the earth, he gave us a way we can communicate with him. So he can always deliver the message of the Creator to us. And what is that way? He gave us a sacred palm nut. A sacred palm nut. So when we are talking about a sacred palm nut, some people misunderstood and they misinterpret the sacred palm nut to an ordinary palm kernel. A palm kernel, the difference between a palm kernel and a sacred palm nut is that a palm kernel is used for palm oil production. A palm kernel is used for a palm oil production. And a sacred palm nut is used for Ifa divination. That is the connection between you and Orunmila, the connection between you and the universe, the connection between you and the Creator. That is what sacred palm nut is meant for. Now, I am going to show you what the sacred palm nut looks like. I am going to show you what Ifa looks like. In as much you know that Ifa is the spoken words of the Creator. So I want to show you, I want to let you know that Ifa is not a dirty element. Ifa is a beautiful thing to behold. Ifa is the most beautiful things that ever existed. And if you have the opportunity to meet some babalawos who do not know the value of Ifa, because it is not everybody that knows the value of Ifa. It is not everybody that knows how to maintain Ifa. It is not everybody that knows how to treat Ifa in the best way. But we know the value of Ifa. We know what Ifa entails. We know what Ifa is all about. And we know the qualities of Ifa, being the words of Olodumare. So now, I want to show you what Ifa looks like. Do not forget, it is the spoken words of Olodumare. And Orunmila happens to be the messenger, the prophet that brought these words to the planet Earth, to human race. Now, Orunmila is no longer on planet Earth as human being. He has given the mandate, he has given the mantle to the Babalawos. So, the Babalawos has a connection to Orunmila, and that connection is the sacred palm nut. So I want to show you what the sacred palm nut looks like before we move to the practical experiment, the practical expression, the practical way of making the Ifa divination. So let me show you what Ifa looks like, what the sacred palm nut look like. So now, when we talk about Ifa, this is Ifa. As you all know, these are white plates. As you can see, we have so many designer lights here, and the purpose of this light is to purify Ifa, is to make the Creator know that Ifa is important to the universe. As I said earlier, some Babalawos, they can keep their Ifa in a dirty place. So Ifa is not meant to be dirty. Ifa is not meant to look dirty. Ifa is not meant to look rough. So this is Ifa. So I'll start from here. I'll open this one. So before you open Ifa, you have to knock 3 times. So when you knock, then you open. So this is Ifa. So when we are talking about a sacred palm nut, this is what the palm nut looks like. So it's different from the palm kernel that is used for oil production. So each of these sacred palm nuts has at least 4 faces. At least 4 faces. So now, because this sacred palm nut has consumed a lot of animal blood, so the faces are no longer visible to people. So this is what Ifa looks like. This is what, if you can see clearly, you will see that this one has 4 faces. So that is Ifa. So, and then if we move from this one and then we move to this one, so this one is also Ifa. And if you look closely, you will see that it also has 4 faces. So that is the importance of it. So the sacred palm nut, we have at least 4 faces, while the palm kernel, we have 3 faces, 2 faces, and 1 face, just like that. So if we open everything, it's still the same thing. That is Ifa. So these are Ifa. If you look, everything is the same thing. So now we want to show you what the practical expression, what it really looks like. So let's go. So I can show you how Ifa divination system is made. So this is Ifa divination tray, which is called Okpon Ifa. So this is Ifa divination tray. It's known to be Okpon Ifa. So this Okpon Ifa, so this is known to be Irukere. Do not forget, Irukere is only being used by the king of a community, a king of a town. When we talk about king, that is the traditional ruler of a community. So this Irukere can only be used by a king. Irukere can only be used by the chief of a community, and Irukere can only be used by a Babalawo. So every Babalawo must have Irukere beside his divination tray. So this is the divination tray known to be Okpon Ifa, and this is Irukere. So it is mandatory that a Babalawo must have Irukere. And now this is Iroke Ifa. So this Iroke Ifa in Odu Ifa Ogbeate. Ifa made us to understand that this Iroke happens to be the wife of Orunmila. So she is a woman. So that is why the design that the Iroke has is the picture, is a design of a woman. So she is a wife of Orunmila in Odu Ifa Ogbeate. So before I proceed, I am going to explain what that Odu says. And do not forget, when we are talking about Odu Ifa, for example, Ogbeate consisted of so many verses. But where Ifa spoke about this particular woman is where I want to bring my teaching from Odu Ifa Ogbeate. Ifa says, Obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn tí ń wá ọkọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn kiri. Ó ní níbo ni ọkọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn kù sí? Wọ́n ní ó kù sílé àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ. Ó lọ bá àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ. Ó ní ìwọ àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ. Ó ní wọ́n sọ pé ó mọ̀ràn. Àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ó lóun mọ̀ràn. Ó ní báwo ló ṣe mọ̀ràn tó? Àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ ní òun mọ̀ràn débi pé tó bá di tí aago kan òru bá lù, òun mọ̀ gbà tágo kan òru lù, òun mọ̀ gbà tí aago méjì lù. Kódà òun ló máa ń jí àwọn ọmọ ènìyàn tí aago mẹ́rin, aago márùn-ún bá ti lù ní kùtùkùtù òwúrọ̀. Obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn lòun ṣetán láti fẹ́ àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ. Ó fẹ́ àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ lóòótọ́. Nígbòó pẹ́ tóun àti àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ jọ ń ṣe wọléwọ̀de, òun àti àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ fẹ́ jọ jẹun. Ó wá rí àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ níbi tó ti ń fi ẹnu ṣalẹ̀ jẹ. Inú wá bí, ó lóun ò lè fẹ́ àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ. I'm also going to explain it in English, but I'm bringing the point as firstly in Yoruba language. As you know, interpreting Ifa from Yoruba language to English is not an easy job. So I am explaining first in Yoruba language. Obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn, ó fi àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ lẹ̀, ó ní torí àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ ń fi ẹnu ṣalẹ̀ jẹ, ó lóun ò lè fẹ́ àkùkọ ẹdìyẹ mọ́. Ó tẹ̀síwájú ìrìn àjò ayé rẹ̀, ó tún gba ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn babaláwo lọ, ó lọ rè dáfá. Nígbò ó sì dé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn babaláwo, wọ́n tún gbé fáwọn òrù, wọ́n sọ àrífá méjì ní òtúfẹ̀, wọ́n rí ogbè lọ́tún ìrẹtẹ̀ lósì. Obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn tí wá ọkọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn kiri, ó ní níbo ni ọkọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn kù sí? Wọ́n ní ó kù sí ilé ẹyẹ Odídẹrẹ́. Ó lọ bá Odídẹrẹ́, Odídẹrẹ́ ǹlẹ́ o, wọ́n ló mọ̀ràn. Odídẹrẹ́ ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ó lóun mọ̀ràn. Ó ní níbo ló mọ̀ràn dé? Odídẹrẹ́ ní òun mọ̀ràn débi pé tí ènìyàn bá wá olówó òun wálé tí ò sì bá olówó òun nílé, ó ní tí olówó òun bá dé, ó lóun mọ tóun ṣe máa júwe ẹni tó wá olówó òun wá fún olówó nígbà tó lówó bá dé. Ó ní lóòótọ́, ó ní Odídẹrẹ́ olómọ̀ràn. Ó fẹ́ Odídẹrẹ́, ó fi ṣe ọkọ, ó fi ṣe adé orí. Wọ́n jọ ń ṣe wọléwọ̀de. Nígbò ó yá Odídẹrẹ́, wọ́n fẹ́ jọ jẹun. Odídẹrẹ́ wá fi ẹsẹ̀ ó fi mú oúnjẹ ó fi sẹ́nu. Inú wá bí obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn. Ó ní ìwọ Odídẹrẹ́ bó ṣe mọ̀ràn tó ẹsẹ̀ ló fi oúnjẹ sẹ́nu. Ó lóun ò lè fẹ́ Odídẹrẹ́. Ó tún kó ẹrù rẹ̀ ó gbéra ó tẹ̀síwájú ó kúrò nílé Odídẹrẹ́. Ó tún gba ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn babaláwo lọ́tún lọ rèé dáfá. Òun fẹ́ ní ọkọ. Ó yẹ kóun bá ọkọ ẹ̀ dáhùn pàdé. Obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn tí ń wá ọkọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn kiri. Ó ní níbo ni ọkọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn kù sí. Wọ́n ló kù sílé Ọ̀rúnmìlà bára mi Àgbọnnìrègún. Ó lọ bá Ọ̀rúnmìlà. Ó ní ìwọ Ọ̀rúnmìlà ńlẹ́ o. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní o. Ó ní wọ́n sọ pé o mọ̀ràn. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó lóun mọ̀ràn. Ó ní níbo ló mọ̀ràn dé. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní ó lóun mọ oyún ìgbínú ní karahun. Ó lóun ló máa sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ní ẹgbẹ̀rún ọdún. Ó ní gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ ó ní dandan ló máa ṣẹ. Ó ní tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó lóun mọ̀ràn lóòótọ́ nìyẹn. Ó wá fi Ọ̀rúnmìlà ṣe adé orí. Ó fẹ́ Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní ọkọ. Òun àti Ọ̀rúnmìlà bára mi Àgbọnnìrègún wọ́n jọ ń ṣe wọléwọ̀de nígbò ó yá. Òkè Ìpọ̀nrí Ọ̀rúnmìlà ó wá gbé ewúrẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọ̀rúnmìlà. Tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Òkè Ìpọ̀nrí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Ifá. Ó túmọ̀ sí pé Ifá ní kí Ọ̀rúnmìlà kó wá fi ewúrẹ́ fún òun. Ọ̀rúnmìlà wá lọ sọ́jà ó ra ewúrẹ́. Ibi tí bàbá ti pa ewúrẹ́ fún Ifá ẹ sì mọ̀ wípé kò sí bá a ṣe máa pa ewúrẹ́ fún Ifá tí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ò ní ta sílẹ̀, tí gbogbo nǹkan, tí gbogbo abọ́ Ifá ò ní dọ̀tí. Ọ̀rúnmìlà wá ń fi ọwọ́ ó fi ń yí ike Ifá àti ẹ̀jẹ̀ ewúrẹ́ ó fi ń yí pọ̀. Oníyàwó Ọ̀rúnmìlà bá wọlé dé tí ń ṣe obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn yìí. Ó ní ìwọ Ọ̀rúnmìlà bó ṣe sọ pé o mọ̀ràn tó àṣé onídẹ̀tí ni ẹ́. O bó ṣe fọwọ́ yí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ewúrẹ́ ó ní rárá. Ó lóun lè fẹ́ Ọ̀rúnmìlà mọ́. Ó wọlé ó kó ẹrù rẹ̀ kó jáde. Ọ̀rúnmìlà wá di lẹ́sẹ̀ mú. Ó ní kò síbi tó ń lọ. Ó ti débi ìjókòó rẹ̀. Ó ní ilé ọkọ rẹ̀ ló wà kò síbi tó ń lọ. Aya mi ni ọ́. Torí pé Ọ̀rúnmìlà jẹ́ alágbára ènìyàn. Bí Ọ̀rúnmìlà ṣe dìmú obìnrin yìí sì wá di ìrọ̀kẹ́ Ifá. Láti ìgbà yìí wá òun ni obìnrin yìí ló ṣe wà ní ọ̀dọ̀ Ọ̀rúnmìlà. Kò síbi tí ẹ máa dé tẹ́ bá ti rí ọpọ́n Ifá dandan ni kí ẹ rí ìrọ̀kẹ́ Ifá. Babaláwo tẹ́ bá ti rí tó bá ti jẹ́ òjíṣẹ́ Ọ̀rúnmìlà tó jẹ́ òjíṣẹ́ Olódùmarè nípasẹ̀ Ifá dandan ni kó ní ìrọ̀kẹ́ Ifá. Torí pé ọkọ àti aya ni àwọn méjèèjì. So what does this explanation means? Obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn. So I am going to explain it in my own little way of understanding in terms of English language. So there is a woman who claims to be a very knowledgeable woman. So Ifá tagged this woman to be this Ìrọ̀kẹ́ Ifá. So she was a very knowledgeable woman. She was a very brilliant woman, very smart woman, both spiritually and physically. So she was looking for a husband. So she went for a divination and asked the Babalawo, I want to marry a husband. I need also a knowledgeable husband, a smart husband. And she was told it was Ogbeate. Ogbeate was the Oduifa that came out for the woman. So she was told that Akuko Ejiye, which is a cock, a local cock. She was told a local cock is very smart and knowledgeable enough to be her husband. So she agreed to marry a local cock. In the course of their relationship, she and the cock want to take their dinner. So she was surprised and amazed to see the cock eating the food with her mouth. So she was not comfortable. So therefore, she moved from the cock. She moved out of the house of the cock. And then she went for a divination again and asked the Babalawo, I need a responsible man to be my husband, a knowledgeable man to be my husband, a smart man to be my husband. So she was also advised to go and marry Odídẹrẹ́. I don't know the English name for Odídẹrẹ́. So, but I know Odídẹrẹ́ happens to be a bird. Okay, I remember it's called a parrot. Yes, it's a parrot. So you know how smart a parrot is. So that is the name of Odídẹrẹ́ in Yoruba language. So this woman married a parrot. And in the course of their relationship, in the course of their journey together as husband and wife, now she wants to eat together with a parrot. So she saw a parrot picking up food with her leg. So this woman wasn't comfortable with parrot picking up food with her leg. So she decided to move out of her husband's house, which happens to be a parrot, because she asked a parrot, how knowledgeable you are, how smart you are. So the parrot responded, I am so smart, I am so knowledgeable, I am so intelligent to the extent that if my owner, my boss is not at home and a visitor come looking for him, when my boss come back, I have the knowledge, I have the ability to tell my boss who actually come looking for him. So she moved out of the parrot house because the parrot was eating the food with her leg. So she proceeded looking for the husband of her dream. She also went for a divination. Ogbeate also came. Obìnrin ọ̀mọ̀ràn tí wọ́n kọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn kiri, ó ní níbo lọ́wọ́ kọ ọ̀mọ̀ràn kù sí, wọ́n ló kù sílé Ọ̀rúnmìlà. So she was told that Ọ̀rúnmìlà happens to be the most knowledgeable man that ever existed. So she went to Ọ̀rúnmìlà house and met Ọ̀rúnmìlà. Ọ̀rúnmìlà, I was told you are knowledgeable. Ọ̀rúnmìlà said, yes, truly I am knowledgeable. And I am knowledgeable, I am intelligent, I am smart to the extent that everything I say will definitely come to pass. No matter how long it is or it takes. He said, oh, Ọ̀rúnmìlà is very smart and is knowledgeable. So she agreed to be the wife of Ọ̀rúnmìlà. So she and Ọ̀rúnmìlà were living together as husband and wife. After some time, Olódùmarè, through Ifá, requested of Ọ̀rúnmìlà that Ọ̀rúnmìlà should use a goat, a she-goat, to appease Ifá. And in the process of that, while Ọ̀rúnmìlà was appeasing Ifá with that goat, so the blood, Ọ̀rúnmìlà was using his hand to mix the blood of that goat with Ifá. So she came and she wasn't comfortable because she believed, as smart as Ọ̀rúnmìlà is, he shouldn't be mixing the blood of animal with Ifá with his bare hands. So she decided to pack a load and move out of Ọ̀rúnmìlà house. So Ọ̀rúnmìlà decided to hold her leg and said, you are going nowhere. You are my wife, I have married you. So here you are going to stay. So in the process of that, because Ọ̀rúnmìlà happens to be a powerful man, so she actually turned to Ìrókè Ifá. So that is why anywhere you see Ọ̀rúnmìlà, you must also see the wife, which is Ìrókè Ifá. So if you look at these designs of this Ìrókè, it's always a picture of a woman. So that is Ogbe Ate. So that is just the significance. That is just the symbol of this Ìrókè Ifá. So what took us to this explanation is because of this Ìrókè Ifá. I just want you to know the essence of this Ìrókè Ifá. So if I am to explain the essence of this Ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀, I have to go to Ejiogbe. Ejiogbe spoke about this Ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀, and it made us to understand that it is only the king, the chief in the community, and the Babalawo that has the opportunity to use this Ìrókè Ifá. And what does Ejiogbe says? What does the creator says? What does Ọ̀rúnmìlà says in Ejiogbe that has a relationship with this Ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀? Ifá says, jíjí tí mo jí, mo mú ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ bàbá mi tòròfíní tòròfíní. Jíjí tí mo jí, mo mú ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ bàbá mi túrúgbájà túrúgbájà. Adífá fún igbó, igbó ń sunkún pòun ò létí. Adífá fún òkè, òkè ń sunkún pòun ò lẹ́sẹ̀. Adífá fún omi, omi ń sunkún pòun ò lójúpọ́n. Òun lè létí ní gbó lọ rè dáfá sí. Òun lè lẹ́sẹ̀ lòkè lọ rè dáfá sí. Òun lè ní ojúpọ́n lomi lọ rè dáfá sí. So these were three characters that Ifá were spoken about here. Igbo, which is the bushes. Okay, the hills. Omi, the water. So the leaves, the natural leaves you are seeing, the bush, they want to have the opportunity to hear when human speaks. That was the essence of the divination. Okay, which is the hills. He also wants to have the opportunity for human to have access to climb to the top of every hills. That was his own purpose of divination. And Omi, which is the water, he also wants to have the opportunity to have a peaceful scenario. No matter how big the river is, no matter how big the ocean is, he also wants to have a scenario, a silent place where the water can be fetched easily, peacefully. That was the essence of divination. So they were asked to offer sacrifice, and they accept to offer sacrifice. And after they offer sacrifice, Igbo, which is the leaves, the natural leaves, they have the opportunity to listen and hear the human whenever they speak. That is why when you went to a bush to pluck some natural leaves, there are some words you must say to those leaves. If not, the leaves will not be active when you want to use them. And then when you go to a mountain, you say, okay, no, you can climb this mountain from this particular spot. Okay, Olese. Omi olojupon, you can fetch the water from here. If you see clearly, the water is very calm. If you try to fetch it from here, it's clean. Here is calm. Here you can fetch it. So omi olojupon. So àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta, 3 of them, they were dancing, they were rejoicing, they were praising their babalawo, and their babalawo were praising Ifá, while Ifá were praising the creator, which is Olódùmarè. Wọ́n ní gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni babalawo tàwọn ń ṣẹnu rere kífá. Wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ l'Ọ̀rúnmìlà ń ṣẹnu rere fọ́lẹ̀. Jíjí tí mo jí, mo múrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ bàbá mi tòròfíní tòròfíní. Jíjí tí mo jí, mo múrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ bàbá mi túrúgbájà túrúgbájà. Adífá fún igbó, igbó ń sunkún pòun ò létí. Adífá fún òkè, òkè ń sunkún pòun ò lẹ́sẹ̀. Adífá fún omi, omi ń sunkún pòun ò lójúpọn. Ǹjẹ́ igbó wá létí o, òkè lẹ́sẹ̀, omi wá lójúpọn. So here, when we want to talk about this Irukere, who are the ones using Irukere? The king, the chief, and the babalawo. So that is where Ifa speaks about Irukere. That is Oduifa Ejiogbe. So now, let's talk about the items for Ifa divination. So, do not forget. So this is sacred palm nut that I showed you earlier. It has to be 16 in number. It must be a 16 in number. The sacred palm nut for Ifa divination. So here, this one we have Oduso. So this Oduso is the biggest among the sacred palm nut. So without the energy of this Oduso, this Ikifa cannot function. So this Oduso happens to be their master, their elder brother. So they must pay an homage. They must pay a good regards to this Oduso. So now for a babalawo to make Ifa divination, there must be the presence of Oduso. No matter how clever the babalawo is, no matter how smart the babalawo is, if there is no Oduso on the divination tree, it's not doing the right thing. So there must be an Oduso for Ifa divination system to take place. So now, if a babalawo wants to make a divination, you have to make use of this sacred palm nut, which is 16 in number, 8 in the right hand, 8 in the left hand. So in Yoruba language, we call it Ejo Waju Ifa, Ejo Ẹ̀yìn Ifa. So when you combine it together, Àpapọ̀ ó di ẹ̀rìndínlógún. When you combine it, it makes 16. And do not forget, we have 16 principal odus from Ejiogbe to Ofumeji. Ejiogbe Ẹ̀yọ̀kú méjì, Ìwòrì méjì, Ìdí méjì, Ọ̀bàrà méjì, Ọ̀kọ̀rọ̀ méjì, Ìrosùn méjì, Ọ̀wọ́nrín méjì, Ògúndá méjì, Ọ̀sà méjì, Ìrẹtẹ̀ méjì, Òtúrá méjì, Òtúrúpọ̀n méjì, Ẹ̀ka méjì, Ọ̀ṣẹ́ méjì, Òfú méjì. So the 16 principal odus that I recited now is according to the settings of Ondo State and Ekiti State. So if you go to Ogun State, if you go to Oyo State, if you go to Lagos State, they have their own setting. If you go to Ogun State or Lagos State, maybe after Idimeji, it might be Irosumeji. Then after Irosumeji, it's Onwori Meji. But in Ondo and Ekiti State, their setting is after Idimeji, you are going straight down to Obarameji. And after Obarameji, it's Okonomeji. So after Okonomeji, then Irosumeji, then Onwori Meji, before Ogunda and Osa. So every state have their own setting. So the recitation is according to the setting of Ondo and Ekiti State. So you can only make divination through this sacred palm nut. And then if you are not ready to make a divination through the sacred palm nut, you can make use of divination chain. And this divination chain is known to be Opele. So this is Opele. This Opele happens to be Omo Ikofa Ile Orunmila. That is the Omoawo of Orunmila. So it's a messenger to Orunmila. So whatever this Opele says is what Orunmila says. So people prefer, some Babalawo prefer to make use of divination chain because it's faster to make divination. But in some cases, a real Babalawo, an authentic Babalawo, make use of the divination, the sacred palm nut for the divination. But in the course of the divination, you cannot make use of the divination chain. Because the people you are making divination for, they might have seen and they might have known, and they might have it in mind for you to use a sacred palm nut for them. So if you are not knowledgeable enough as a babalawo, you choose to make use of a sacred divination chain first. They might not be comfortable with you, and every message you are giving them, they might not accept it, but you will not know. So if they leave your place, they might decide not to come back again. So now, this divination share, which is opele, before you make use of it, you must first of all ask to know if it's ready to serve you. And how do you ask? As a babalawo, you must have known the 16 principles odus, of course. You must have known the whole 256 odus. So you have to make use of it to ask from him if it's available to serve you. And this is the process. You throw it to the ground. Here is Ogunda Iwori. So this is Ogunda Iwori. Then you have to pick it up again and throw it. And this is Oturupom Ogbe, which is Oturupom Ogbe. So it clearly shows that he is available to serve me. So whatever questions I want to ask, is going to give me a perfect answer. So, but in the times of sacred palm nut, you do not need to ask, because this actually represents the energy of Orunmila directly. So it's ever present. If you go to him 1 o'clock in the morning, is available. No matter the time you go to him, is always available to serve you. So now, let's go to the practical aspect proper. For example, I want to make a divination for somebody. Okay, you come. Sit down here. So let people see. Sit down. Okay. Move closer to me a little bit and stretch your leg. Thank you. Move closer a little bit. Thank you. So if I want to make a divination for this brother, now this is how the divination program or the system or the process will take place. So he will take the sacred palm nut and say a word of prayer to it. After saying the words of prayer, he will drop the sacred palm nut. Of course, he's going to say prayers to money as well. So he's going to put money on it. Then I will pick the sacred palm nut. After picking it up, then I have to make sure in my left hand I have 8. On my right hand I also have 8, which makes it 16. So I will bring it together. Then I will pray to it concerning what he had said. Then I'm going to use it to touch his head, his ori, both front and back. So after touching his ori, I will bring it. Then after saying my prayer, then I will start the divination. I will start the divination. So if I pick it up and I have 3, I have no reason to press anyone on the divination tree. But if I start again and I pick it up, I have 2. That means I am going to press 1. So if I start it, I have, and the palm nut fell down, I will pick it up again. So bring the sacred palm nut. Okay, don't worry, you can stay. So when the palm nut fell down, you take it to the divination tray, then bring it back again. And some babalawo can take from the powder iyereosun, put it on the divination, the sacred palm nut, rub it, then continue the process. So when you pick it up, if you have 1, you are definitely pressing 2 on the divination tray. So if you pick it up again, you have 2, you are pressing 1. So that is how you are going to do it until you get the signature, which is the Oduifa. So once you get the signature, which is the Oduifa, you are also going to proceed by asking from Orunmila, by asking from the creator, which is Olodumare, to know what the Oduifa comes with. For example, let's assume that the Oduifa is Ogbe or Sa. This is Ogbe or Sa. Ogbe in the right hand or Sa in the left hand, which is Ogbe Sa. We also call it Ogbe Rikusa. So the Babalawo, we have to proceed by asking from the Ifa if the divination comes with positive or negative, which Yoruba we call Ire Tabi Ayewo. So now you start the process again. So the first divination we have to be on the right, and the second one we have to be on the left. For example, let's assume the first divination is Ogbeate. This is Ogbeate. And the second divination is, for example, let's say Oyeku Betula. So this is Oyeku Betula. So in as much Ogbeate is bigger than Oyeku Betula, which is Oyeku Otura, we also call it to be Oyeku Itira. So in as much Ogbeate is bigger than Oyeku Itira, it clearly shows that Ifa has comes with positivity. So then you can now start to make use of the divination shade to know the particular positivity that Ifa has come with. Is it positivity for wealth, which is Ire Aje? Is it positivity for children, which is Ire Omo, Ire Aiku, and so on and so forth? So if all these things are derived, then you will ask from Ifa, what are we going to do to get this positivity? And if actually Ifa comes with negativity, you need to also proceed to know the particular negativity that Ifa has come with, for you to be able to know what you are going to do to avert that negativity. So that is the work of a Babalawo. And do not forget, we have 256 old Ifa. So every competent Babalawo must be able to recite at least 4 or 5 of each of the old Ifa, that is from Ejiobe to Ofunse. So when you are being woken from the dream and say, okay, what does Osha says, you should be able to say it conveniently. What does Oturupon Obalofon says, you should be able to say it conveniently. What does Irosun Aijinion says, you should be able to say it. That is what makes you a competent Babalawo. So it is not about putting ileke, beads on your neck, or putting beads on your hand that makes you a competent Babalawo. So your competency lies in your brain. What your brain is carrying, what you have installed in your system as a Babalawo. And do not forget, every Babalawo, the quality of a Babalawo, the number one quality is humility. So Babalawo must be humble, both in and out of his environment. So if you see anyone who claims to be a Babalawo and always like this, it's not a Babalawo. It does not represent the energy of Orunmila. It does not represent the Olodumare. So a Babalawo must be humbled, down to earth. So a Babalawo will never destroy anybody. So you will not go to a Babalawo and you expect him to destroy somebody's life for your own life. It's not possible. Because a Babalawo is a messenger of the Creator. So he only acts according to the words of Olodumare through Ifa. So anyone who claims to be a Babalawo will only listen to the voice of Ifa, not the voice of human. So therefore, if you see anyone who is acting and doing some funny things and claim to be a Babalawo, it is either you go to a spiritualist or you go to Woli, Afa and all that. So if they said they see somebody with human head, a Babalawo, you cannot see a human head with Babalawo. It's not possible. You can only see human head with Afa, with Woli, with pastors. Those are the people that are looking for power, fake power. Babalawo does not even believe in money ritual. There is nothing like money ritual. It is not the number one prophet, which is Orunmila, never practiced what is called money ritual. So it is not possible. So when we are talking about Babalawo, we are talking about prominent people, down to earth people, the real people that carry the energy of the Creator. Their responsibility is to liberate you from darkness into light. You that you are watching me right now, you know how many places you have been to. You know how many juju, you know how many sham you have done. All the places you went to is not Babalawo. You just went to a spiritualist or a traditionalist. If you have the opportunity to meet a Babalawo, you will know that you have seen a Babalawo. So that is just my message, and that is just my teaching for today. And with all this practical experiment, I hope you have gained 1 or 2 lessons from us. If you have gained 1 or 2 lessons from us, I will suggest and I will beg you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel to help us promote this channel so others can have this opportunity to also see the words of Olodumare, to also see how Ifa is being practiced in African system. So we really appreciate you for your comment, we appreciate you for your like, and we appreciate you for your views. Our purpose is very simple: to liberate you from darkness into light. So when we are talking about darkness, what we mean by darkness is whatever you do not know, you are in darkness of that thing. Until you have knowledge of that thing, then you are in light of it. So our responsibility is to bring you from darkness into light. So the world is about information. We all need information to live the best life. So thank you very much. Elaboru, elaboye, elaboye bosise, ogbo, ato, asure, iwo fun. Thank you. Ire o.